going on, car guys?
Yeah.
Can you hear us out there in the music world? Can you hear us out there in car guy world? Can you see these people on the screen? Can you hear me if you're riding with me? No, I'm out of rhymes. But seriously, thank you so much for listening to us. If you are riding inside of your car, thank you so much for tuning into the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And I am Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
And today we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. And if you are joining us live, good morning. Hopefully you are ready to brew some solutions and have a good time. Man, we are so excited for the lineup that we have in this solution session today. Guess what? Y'all need to help us out and tag a car guy.
Tag a car gal. Come on.
Share. Woo! Good morning.
Hey, we just synced that really nicely, man. That was pretty. That's probably the best ever.
That's kind of how we do things.
There you go, man.
Every
Cheers to that. It's going to be the best day ever.
Better, car guys.
That's
and car
right.
gals. And if things continuously get better, then you keep trying to find ways to get better again. It becomes a habit in your life, right? Every time I go make me a fresh cup of car guy coffee, I want it to be the best cup I ever had. And today, with the beans that we've assembled in this cafe, we definitely want to make sure that we're presenting to you the best possible brew that we can bring. And that's by assembling these incredible beans that are from a big mix, right? The big mix of beans. We're going to grind this out together this morning. Some people, it's really early. Some people, it's not so early. But good morning.
Good morning to everyone out there. And if it's getting ready to go into the next day because you're listening to us in Australia or wherever you're at, what's going on, we appreciate you, man. We're having a great time. We do have 4 amazing guests that we're bringing to the cafe today. They're solutionaries that do bring their own special blend, their unique way of thinking about social selling. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about social media marketing, different ways to look, how to be better at it, and different ways to start, right? And you can look at it through different lenses. You can be a person who just puts posts out there. You could be a person who looks at data and looks at what Google SEO, looking at all this information to be able to distribute where your social media is going, right? We get a little deep in it and we can also get very easy with it. But the biggest thing is we need to do it. So how do we do it? We're bringing 4 people in to talk about it, and I'm excited about it.
Incredible people. You only know of us because of the power of social media. You only know of the name Car Guy Coffee. You only know of the Forgive, Focus, Fly movement that is sweeping the automotive industry and is coming for everybody to adopt and accept that instead of percolating problems, we want to be brewing solutions
every time.
And as we do that, we assemble an incredible army around that coffee pot. And today, we have an incredible lineup. And you've seen the faces. I mean, you've seen the faces as we started, right?
Yeah.
You've seen them in there, right? We have incredible masterminds that we can't wait to get here. So let's just go ahead and welcome everybody in. I want to see hand claps. And so we're just going to get those that need to be right here in front of you, and we're going to welcome them in. Ladies first, everybody. The one, the only, Hannah Lifson.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. We're so excited. Hello to everybody. Hi.
Hey, everybody. It's so great to be back. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you for coming on. This was short notice, and I appreciate you for jumping on and being able to bring some knowledge to this game. And I know you bring a lot. I've seen your vision. I've seen what you do. We've had you on the show. I know your story. It's an amazing one. So, man, what you have to bring to this is stellar. So I'm pumped up about it. We're good. We're excited. I'm sure everyone else is who's watching. Be ready for it. Hannah, thank you so much for being here.
But Hannah, help us out. Put your hands together and welcome in the one, the only, from California, the California kid himself, Mr. Brian Ortega.
Hey!
Right there. Heck yeah, excited about him being in here, brother. We are so pumped up that you get to brew with us again. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day, making big things happen,
man,
brother. We
doing it, man. You are such a visionary, and he has the actor bug inside him, but it's so fun and playful, man. You're doing big things, and it's just the beginning for it, man. And I just love that you're so humble about it too. Honestly, you really are. You're so sharing and you're so giving. So, folks, get ready to hear some amazing things from Brian Ortega.
Hey. I'm sure he's got a gift or two for all of you to enjoy in this viewing experience here on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast.
Oh, man.
But coming from the the hills, man, they're mountains, okay? From the mountains of West Virginia, we have an incredible solutionary in training that is doing some magnificent things in his community, but also seeing some great success as a young car guy. And we are absolutely applauding what it is that he's putting to work and the practices that he's doing. The incredible, the one, the only, Gabe.
What's up, man?
Hey, welcome in, everybody.
Young Buck,
So
what's going on,
excited
brother?
about
Say
Thank
hello
you,
to
guys. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
No problem at all, man. We're honored to have you on the show, and we love watching what you're doing out there in the hills of West Virginia, man. He's doing some big things. He's using social media to the fullest right now, and I know there's still room for improvement, and he's so excited to be here. Man, appreciate you, brother. Oh,
Thank you.
last but not least, man, this guy, I don't think he really needs an introduction. I think a lot of people know who this guy is. Right now, he's everywhere. If he's in 20 group meetings, he's at the 800 club meetings. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. He's the man with the hair.
That's right, the man with the hair. That is right. If you know this dude, well, you know this dude. Welcome, my man, Steve Roessler.
What's going on, everybody? I know everybody likes to talk to the hair, so I just figured I'd have the coffee cup blocking my face, like I'm wearing a mask or something, but there you go.
Bring the hair back.
Awesome.
Oh, man, as you know,
having me,
the
everybody.
LiveWithDrive guy, right? So we appreciate you for being here. He brings
LiveWithDrive.
energy. Man, this guy, how could you not want to buy something from him with that kind of energy, man? That's so amazing what he's like. He is a special individual. I love watching you speak in front of people, man, and just sharing your knowledge. You're a special person. So yes, what a powerful group of people right here, my friends. We are Voltron, the defenders of the universe, taking care of it. We're going down right now. So I'm excited. We're talking about social selling. This is something I know each one of y'all know about, ways to do things. Each one of y'all brings some knowledge with this, whether it's just a year or two of knowledge of it, or whether it's decades of it. It's all valuable. All perceptions matter. So I love this. Let's go. Lou, what's up?
Man, everybody brings some sort of flavor to this pot. And I absolutely love the value that you consistently put out, whether or not there's the Car Guy Coffee podcast. Let's be real, everybody. These people are certified solutionaries, making things happen inside of the industry, inside of their pocket. And we ultimately get to gather around together, assemble what it is that we do best, apply the heat of life, of work, of trial, of tribulation, and also of just good old sweat and tears, right? For the things that we're passionate about.
Yes.
We then extract from that something that is good and awesome to savor and to enjoy and that we can sip upon. But guess what? We have to keep brewing it, because today's cup of coffee is not going to take care of you tomorrow. And it's important that what it is that we brew today, we put into action. We allow it to ignite the things inside of our heart to go do the things we're created to do, no matter where it is that we are. And we're thankful for everybody that's joining us today. So let's do what it is that ultimately we want to make sure everybody learns to do in sequence and together. And that's to drop F-bombs all over the world.
Yes.
Okay. And that's by bringing the forgive, focus, fly message to those that need it most. And that's me. That's you. That's all of us. We all need to practice forgive, focus, flying so that we can keep growing. So let's do that together. We got some alumni, some first timers inside of the cafe, but let's go ahead and do it together. We do it by putting our hands on our shoulders. Why do we do that, Fred?
Man, because we want to understand what the weight of unforgiveness feels like, right? Sitting here, how awkward is this? This is what it's like holding on to people who've done bad things to you, people who've done just things that you can't let go of, right? The things you've done to yourself, the stuff you forgot to do, the stuff that you just blatantly didn't do. It's all right, man. We can wipe all that off. Man, this way we can focus on what we want, and then we can just fly to where we want to go and keep growing, right? So let's do it together real quick and have some fun, and then we're going to go on and bring some knowledge, man. Let's go.
I'm so excited. I got some family close by that can probably help me get a band together to produce this. And then we can, I can't wait for this to happen. But let's do it on three, everybody. 1, 2, 3. We're going to forgive, focus, fly together. Come on, Steve. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus. There we go. And fly.
Jump the gun.
And keep growing. Keep growing. Love you guys so much for doing it. Now we are all ready to go. Ready to groove. Ready to move. Ready excited about this. Let's roll, man. So we're talking about social selling, and we're talking about something that is growing every single day. There's new ways of doing it. There's different angles. Man, if you're looking at being a corporation, how do you use social? If you're as a salesperson, how do you use social? If you're just a dealer, not just a dealer. If you're a dealer, how do you do that? So let's get the ball rolling and let's see what the angle is. What do you think, Lou?
So on this, let's go ahead and jump into somebody that's helping to harness and communicate all of the power that's engulfed inside of social media. And that's our friend from DriveCentric, my friend, my brother, Steve, who's a genius at fusing these things together, because the ultimate thing is that all of these medias get to the person that wants to interact with them. And when we calculate everything in social media and we calculate everything as far as a personal engagement with somebody, it is that engagement. Are we having a conversation or not? We appreciate those that are commenting. Yep. Continue commenting, right? We're having a talk. This is just a cup of coffee and a conversation with a couple of car guys and car gals. But Steve, what is it that we need as an industry to be able to connect to so much to the understanding of a engagement? What is it about that engagement that is such a valuable thing that we need to be measuring everything around? Why do you believe
Well, and you guys can hear me okay, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, whenever you're talking to somebody, just engagement, it's got to be immediate this day and age. I'm just trying to take care of a dog. So the dog is engaging me, telling me he has to go outside. So now I got to improvise, overcome, and adapt. But the thing is, with engagement, it's so immediate. We're in this, consumers are not patient, just like us in the car industry. So if we're, let's having problems with, let's say, our Apple support, for example, and you get on Apple Chat, I don't know if anybody's ever been on Apple Chat when they had a phone problem, but I'll tell you, waiting 5 minutes is an eternity. So when we're talking about social selling, the thing you got to think about are customers that are engaging your store have got to be, they're in the digital showroom. They're just not physically in your showroom. So we have to think mentally a little bit different about the importance of these customers that are actually talking to our store today. Because if we're going to wait, have these customers texting us, they're emailing us back, if we don't respond, you are losing opportunities. That's just the way we are as humans today with the power of technology. And then just bridging the gap, you could also use things like, Facebook Messenger, the people that are selling cars, you ought to be connecting with people on social. Get them on LinkedIn, Instagram, all the different communication portals that are out there. We just got to use all the resources as salespeople to connect the dots with the customers and see how they want to engage. But then you got to be responsive as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, and very quickly, swiftly,
very quickly.
Yeah, man, and people, their engagement goes somewhere else. You can get them for a moment, but soon as it's like, oh, hey, what's going on over here, right? So you have to make sure that you're engaging them and you're staying engaged with them in the way that they want to be engaged, whether it's Facebook Messenger. I mean, it's crazy. They might want to engage just in Snapchat. That's the future. We have to look at things like that, TikTok even, right? And that's why I see a lot of people jumping on that. I see a lot of people doing a lot of amazing things, trying to be creative. And maybe it's silly, but at the end of the day, it's unique. And it's something that people are going to remember. And it's like, wow, okay, that person tried to go off on a little bit of a different thing, but man, that worked a little bit. That was kind of cool. I kind of got groovy with that. So I see some cool things. What do you think about that, Gabe? You're out there, you're trying to get engaged in social media world. You're trying to find ways to be able to engage with your customers as fast as possible. What do you see out there doing that with social media?
So what I've kind of run into so far, there are people here at our store that use social media to kind of put themselves and our products out there as well. And then how you said with being different, we want to be different to set yourself apart. That's just what I'm trying to do, because really we started on the whole social media train probably about 6 months ago and it's kind of taken off from there. I mean, at first it was like posting a couple of pictures to like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And you get some traction from something like that. But what I've noticed myself, and even talking to you guys, is just making a video, people hearing your voice, seeing your face. They can put a voice with a name and see your face. That makes a huge difference as well.
100%. That is exactly what's going on. And the more that you do it, the more that you're going to have opportunity. To me, it's like having people in front of you, but it's digitally, right? So if you think about that, the more that you can get engagement, the more people can see you, know that that's what you do, how you do it, how to get a hold of you, they're going to reach out. Maybe it's a low percentage compared to meeting somebody on the lot, but it's nothing but time. So you have the opportunity to go out there, put yourself out there. Next thing you know, those percentages get higher. They always do. The more that you're out there, the more that people know, and they see the videos of you with your customers, the videos of your customers saying, man, Gabe treated us so well. I drove 100 miles. And I know those stories with you. You have people come from all kinds of different states. You have pro athletes come buy vehicles from you guys there. It's amazing, right? You guys bring some great service. It's very transparent. Your process is very clean, and man, your all's heart is great. So it's not about
you communicate.
It's not about showing off. It's about showing out, like letting people know, hey, this is what we do.
Yeah, you need to say, hey, we're different. We aren't the traditional, car dealership. We're trying to be different here. And like you said, transparency. That's the biggest thing with us, really.
Killer, man, and I love that.
And it's all part of a well-assembled marketing plan, right? You're putting out there who it is that you are, but genuinely who you are, because who you are is always going to sell you the best. And if you can do that and expose that, that is really what's going to connect to the customers that are right for you too, right? We want to do business with people we want to do business with too.
Yes,
I genuinely want people to be happy with what it is that they're getting, but getting all that fused together in a great marketing cup comes with so much to grind out and so much to learn through. You're so young in the business, understanding things that have taken a long time for many people to grasp a hold of, right? The great thing is that you see that it works, you apply it, and in any case scenario, you're still seeking ways to improve it. And with that comes this incredible mind right here that we have. Hannah fuses these things together to make sure that they do flow right, but they also get calculated right. Yep. You know what you're getting. You know what's inside of your cup. You know what is working, what's not working. Why is it so important that these things are focused on and calculated? And welcome to the show once again. Again, you blessed us before. Thank you for being here again.
Well, thank you guys again for having me on. It's awesome to be here, especially with this group of powerhouses. One of the main social media platforms that no one's actually brought up yet, but I think definitely needs to be brought to the conversation is Google Business Profiles, formerly known as Google Business. So one of the things that, a lot of people do, it's great if we can get people to connect with us on LinkedIn, if we can get people to connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, whether it's following the dealership page or your actual, personal profile. They have to eventually find you, or they have to start with that search. And that search is probably happening on Google. Just in 2021 alone, there were over 60 billion searches, which, just to give you guys a little bit more of a tangible number, is about 40,000 searches a second. So people are going there. Buyers are starting their journey there. The consumer is there. The person that you want to get on your lot is probably there. And whether they're starting at the point of, dealership near me, or, something really specific like Ford Kia, Metro, Arizona. Either way, they're probably going to start that search on Google. I know I do. I bet you guys probably do as well. But once you type in that to the search query, all of the results will be listed on that search page on the right-hand side. But the only thing on the left-hand side is going to be your Google My Business profile, your Google Business profile. And that's where you can really, kind of hone in and replicate a lot of your other social media efforts that we find quite a few dealers really aren't taking advantage of yet. And there's so many ways to optimize that page so that you can ensure you are the first and only person that's showing up on page 1. And as we know, really nobody ever gets to page 2 of Google. So there's a ton of ways that you can do that there, and you can get really creative, or if honestly you're doing everything in-house, there's a ton of ways to just simply replicate, duplicate, and copy it over to your actual profile, like post. It's kind of like anything in your timeline. If you're already posting on Facebook, take that content and read it on your Google Business profile. One of the cool things though with Google Business, Google My Business, Google Business Profiles is it's so far below the fold that if you go on the back end of the insights tool, you can really get a gauge on how many people are truly viewing and truly clicking. And they have options for CTAs to get them straight onto that BDP page, which, kind of takes away that need to go to the website, search around, look around, and you can get the consumer directly to where they want to be in just a few clicks. And that because of where they're searching so far on the fold, they have intent. They're searching because they want to be there. They want to be driven, no pun intended, directly to that car. You know, and there's a ton of other ways that we can take a deeper dive into on how to optimize those pages and really replicate a bunch of those same instances. But I think we have to bring, you know, Google My Business, Google Business Profiles into this conversation for today.
Absolutely. Heck yeah.
100%. And I'm glad that you're bringing that up because that's so important when it comes to the future of what we're doing. Data, information being on the first of that page. Like you said, the second page of Google is like the least seen page on the internet, period, hands down. Nobody goes to that page. And she's so right. So if you're not on the first page, you're last, right? And it's literally that. So it's like, what are you doing to get there? And what kind of information are you using to get that? And what I tell you is, you know, I love that we have Brian over here because Brian's at the dealership and he does a lot of marketing and advertising. And I know that it has to be pointed that way to be able to get you to that first part of that Google page. So what say you on that kind of situation for you, getting to that first page on Google? How important is that to you and how do you get there?
Yeah, that's perfect that she's talking about Google because like now you kind of build around that because you want to get in the search. I just posted our new commercial yesterday on Google Business Profile with some keywords, right? So if somebody's searching something and if it's something about it's about the metaverse, right? So I'm putting that in there, but I'm also putting our dealership information and the button is clicking to a particular landing page because people are lazy, right? You got to get them exactly where they want to go. And you just got to really dive deep into getting on that first page and being specific with your intent on driving customers to your dealership.
Amen. 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 There's no doubt. And I believe that it's about a 2 to 3 click rule. If they can't get to what they want within 2 to 3 clicks, it's over onto the next dealership, right? And somebody will have that for them. So you have to be ready for that. And if you're not, get prepared for it. It's okay if you're not. Hey, we forgive, we focus, and we fly, and we keep growing. And that's the whole point, is get this knowledge and start using it today, because the best time to start something is right now.
That's right.
That's second best time. The best time was like 20 years ago, right? But you want to like right now.
Not for Gabe.
Not for Gabe.
I
Was he even born yet? Yeah.
2001.
Where's that now? You know what I mean? It started 20 years ago. So I'm just saying, like, things come, they evolve, they become better.
That's right.
And you know, we're going to keep growing. So
yes. So checking this out, right? Understanding that there's so many numbers, there's so much. I mean, everybody that didn't pull out a piece of paper or pencil or start typing it in or already knew about the metrics that Hannah is pointing at, you know, go back, rewind, listen, okay? You can replay, catch the things that you need to be focused on.
40,000 a second.
A lot of times we're aiming at the wrong goals or goals that have deteriorated, right? Things that aren't even standing there anymore. And we need to find a way to adjust it. The ultimate thing is to connect the customer. And us saying things to the customer doesn't matter until they say them back. We need the yes for the customer presented to them. Like Brian is saying, we have to be able to put to them a way for them to take action. Any great social media campaign will put you into a place where you have to take action onto it, right? And then you also feel compelled to, even if it's just a like, even if it's just, you know, a comment. Why is it so important, all of you all, that inside of that, we don't stay robotic? We put our personality into it, right? There's so many unique qualities you each bring to this brew, literally, you know, and figuratively. I'm always going to do the coffee correlations. Okay, guys, that's always what's going to happen. But with it comes the understanding that everybody else that's trying to squeeze something good out of them, that they bring their flavor to it and they figure out what that flavor even is, right? Brian, I love what you do because you bring your creativity to it. How important is it for you to make sure that a true expression of what other people are thinking is something that you connect into your marketing, right? That is something that you always do.
You got to step out, right? And then flip it, literally the camera onto how you would want to see something, right? I used to teach, well, I still kind of do, but Sunday school, I just correlated to church. When I was growing up, the people that were funny, that were engaging, that brought the lesson, right? That's who we kind of gravitated towards. But the people that were mundane and just, here's the verse and here's, we kind of separate and detach ourselves from that. So you got to see yourself from your potential customer's perspective. And what are they seeing on TV right now, or OTT, or on social media, right? You look at the Super Bowl and everything's got like, even the serious companies are having fun, right? And making jokes and all that stuff. So we have to bring that into the dealership world and not be afraid to take those chances and just be different. Like Whitner was saying, like, don't talk about being different, actually be different. I mean, take those chances, be adventurous with your content.
Absolutely love it. And then and from there you create connections, right? Connection points with people, memories with people. And in that you did it even concerning Car Guy Coffee. I love the way that you described getting Car Guy Coffee.
It was awesome.
It's here.
It was really sweet, man. We appreciated that. It was like a really unique.
Oh my God, I've been waiting for weeks. I usually don't get things like this. It's literally been on my mind for 3 weeks. I feel like I deserve it. My heart is just pounding. It's here. It's finally here. Sometimes you just gotta splurge. You deserve to treat yourself to something big sometimes. And oh my gosh, there was low supply, but we got it. We got to just see it, just taste it with my eyes. I worked so hard for it. I can see it from here. Oh, yes, finally mine. Oh, yes. I just gotta thank so many people for making this happen. Wow. Oh, yeah. There it is. My Car Guy Coffee. It's finally here. Yes. Oh, brand new. It's here. I'm not getting the Supra.
Oh,
Hey, I'm ready for my next batch. All right, let's go.
Heck yeah, let's do
The
this.
dark
I
roast.
can't wait.
I want that dark roast.
I haven't gotten a bag.
you want that dark roast?
Yeah.
I do want that dark roast. Okay, well, if you are joining us at the NADA convention this year, Car Guys and Car Gals, you will be able to get you a bag of the dark roast. We can't wait to see you there. If you are in the vicinity, come excite the area with Upshifting and Uplifting by Brewing Solutions with Car Guy Coffee. Thank you so much, Brian, for that piece.
That
Once
was
again,
amazing.
give him a hand, everybody. Give him a hand. That was, again, incredible. We appreciate that. But do you see that, Car Guys, Car Gals, and those that are trying to actually really learn something? He's fusing together his product, his personality, something about someone else, right? It's not always about us, right? Something about someone else that he is excited about, right? And that complete fusion together creates a personality that connects to people.
No doubt.
Gabe, you're doing that when you put
No
out
doubt.
there the reviews of your customers, the excitement videos, the testimonial videos, right?
The challenge
putting that
videos.
faith
You're telling
out
people
there.
come in. You're
Yes.
like, I'm gonna need to sell these 2 vehicles. Come on in, right? And
Come on.
dude, that was to me one of my favorite ones you've ever done.
Yeah.
That was exciting. That engaged people. That gave them like, hey, I need to do something with this guy. This is fun, right? Let me be part of that. And it was very, very cool. And it is. It's all about that type of energy. It's all about giving that type of vibe out to people. Let them know, hey, we're fun too, and this is who I am, and I'm here to help everyone.
And guess what? I got a car. But
And I did the whole time I watched that. I still want a Supra.
Yeah,
Even I want
yeah.
coffee with the Supra. I want to be driving with the coffee, some Car Guy Coffee, and driving in a Supra now. I'm like,
That's right. That's right. So let's talk about a problem that is percolating, right? There are things that are out there that everybody seems to put into the place of a solution. They put in the excuse.
yeah,
And with that is sometimes the scarcity of vehicles, right? What's out there, what's not. That's why it's more important than ever that we connect a conversation. We begin a relationship with people that can continue past the right now available product. We have to talk to somebody that we can also take care of tomorrow, because guess what? We're not getting cars till tomorrow too.
No.
You know what I mean? And we hope we are. So with that, why is it so important that we are, or how is it that we can best? Yeah, we want dealers to take from this a solution. How can they best fuse together some of the ideas, some of the tools, some of the tactics to help them keep those conversations engaging. How can they do that? And I would pass this right back to the lady in the house. What would you say on that? And what would your recommendations be for a dealer?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we can see it across the country, across the world. Cars are in short supply. We all know that. But that doesn't mean that you can't sell into your pipeline. Eventually cars will get here. People have to get something new on the streets. But also, in the meantime, don't forget about your service department. Say you have marketing dollars that you don't want to be spending necessarily at the front of the house. Why are you not reinvesting that so heavily in the back of the house, which is potentially even what's kind of keeping you guys afloat right now? And depending on where you are in the country, it could be service season. We have a couple big snowstorms coming in. I'm sure some of our dealers have great offers. Let's go ahead and reinvest those dollars into where we know that there are cars, there are needs, there are consumers that are searching for that. Try to get ahead and get in front of them. I'd also recommend, if you do have any kind of luxury brand, it is a little bit easier to sell into the pipeline. If you're having some kind of luxury, like, I don't know, over the top Volvo or Mercedes, some of that stuff is custom build. That's going to take time. The consumer already knows, hey, I know I can't get this for another 3 to 6 months, but don't not market. Don't not take that opportunity to say, hey, we do this service. We do potentially have these products available, because your consumer probably already knows it's not in lot, it's not in stock, it's not exactly to their, needs or wants. But you always have to continually stay top of mind. And that's where social media can come into play. Get back into touch with some customers that maybe even are doing a return so they can get the newest model. Maybe they leased it. You have something new coming in. Re-show that on social media. Start showing some of like that OEM branded content too, if you need to fill in the gaps. The locally generated content is beautiful, wonderful. We love that kind of stuff. We love to see it. But we also know that the OEM is able to produce, pictures potentially of something that maybe you don't have on lot. Go back, use it. It's already made. It's already brand approved. And you have to stay top of mind in order for somebody to be thinking, 6, 8, 10 months out. And we all know, outside of buying a house, the car is the biggest purchase. Somebody may not be ready to buy just yet, but in a year, they're going to remember, hey, I saw that they had the exact trim model, or they can make something custom for me. So my 2 pieces of advice are, number 1, you can reinvest those dollars into service. People are coming to the service department. Don't forget about them. And number 2, make sure you're still, incorporating the OEM branded materials, as well as, any locally, even old generated content.
That's some wonderful information right there. It's powerful, because here's the deal. Truth. Your service department is how you have customer retention. Period. Hands down. You will have longer customers. They will come back and they will see you. They will repeat that same spot. They like to feel comfortable when they're purchasing something. So when they recognize people, they know the service department, they know the people there, they tie all that together. So the more that you can give to your current client base and people outside of that, you can bring, that's how you find new customers. They're like, man, I'm curious about this place. This service department rocks, right? So if you advertise it and you market it, I know for sure there's a lot of dealerships that would not be above water if it was not for their service department. It would have been a nightmare for some of them, and it saved them. And even before the crisis, even before all those, I saw service departments were the ones that kept the front of the house alive, and you still never gave the love to it. So it's a smart idea to shift that over there that way, and what I believe also is that we have to be able to keep communicating with them in a certain way, like, especially when it comes to, like, I know we got a guy down here, Mr. CRM himself, man. And what I love about what he brings to the table is some uniqueness to the way that you communicate with your customers once you have them and how you can get to them fast. So let me pass this down to Steve really quick, man. And the reason why I want to throw it at you is because we have all these leads. We go to the internet, we work hard, we use social media. We have this bundle of people. How do we communicate with them? What's the best way to do it? I mean, I know that it's text messaging is like the hottest way, but what if it's not? How do we know that for sure? What are you doing out there to help the community get better at that?
Well, my gosh, I mean, you just watch Ortega's video. I mean, my God, do I need to say it? I mean, geez. I mean, that's a guy. Look, I will tell you, great video ideas. Somebody like Brian. Brian and I have a relationship, and I'm always doing really out of the box videos, and that's what Brian does too. I think if you go out there and you start doing, especially videos, humanizing the car buying experience, nobody wants to just come in. I tell everybody is, if you want to prepare for when you get inventory, you need to start thinking about
providing that digital showroom experience. They don't have to come in and buy a freaking car. You could do 100% of what these other guys are doing right there at your dealership and offer a damn test drive. So why don't we offer that? Why don't we be proactive versus reactive and wait for a customer to say, do I have to come into the dealership? I guarantee I look in the CRMs and that's exactly what you will see is, do I have to come in and visit you, Brian? No, you can do it 100% online. So video is bridging that gap. But more importantly, with social media and with video, you have to let people into your world. You said it earlier, people buy from who they like. I guarantee you watch Ortega's videos or maybe my videos or anybody else's videos that's on here that's doing a lot of videos. You're going to get a snapshot of what their demeanor is like. You're going to know their personality. It's not a facade. And therefore, you know if you're going to be approachable. And this is a term called upstream marketing. Upstream marketing is where you are planting the seed to get referrals. And that is something I just don't believe the car industry does a very good job of, is asking for referrals.
100% right.
It's if we know, like before all this pandemic thing happened, I think I said in a Google meeting, the average customer is buying a car 17 times in a lifetime, which I was like, holy cow, that's a lot, But we kill a customer, we sell the customer a car, and it's like we're done. But they got friends, they have families. We're promoting this customer experience. And the only way you provide a customer experience is if they share with their friends and family that, hey, where I bought a car from. Right. And you get referrals. That's a great way to find out what kind of experience you're really doing at your dealership by counting the number of referrals. And look, and I don't care what you sell. Okay, fine. I sell a CRM. But when dealers come and say, hey, I'm going to send you a buddy of mine, he needs, that's gravy, baby. It's all gravy, baby. Why don't we do that stuff?
I love gravy.
I like gravy. I like gravy.
Pour it on.
I do. It's obvious lately too. So, but no, on the serious, but you're right. It's exactly the way to do it. And I love that. We have somebody put out there, Upstream Marketing. I'm enjoying this in the airport, right. Guys. Thanks. Right. Yeah. We're bringing some great stuff out here. And this is what I'm talking about. Different ways of looking at it. Gabe, when you communicate with your customers, what's the best way you get response? How do you really fulfill somebody who has to drive an hour away, 2 hours away to come buy a vehicle from you? How do you get them excited to come see you?
Honestly, a lot of these people now, if you want to call somebody to reach out to them, they're not going to answer the phone. I've noticed that a lot more. If you're going to reach out to somebody, it's either on text or like Facebook Messenger, for example. And then from there, because they can put a face, like I said earlier, put a face with a name, they can see your profile and they can say, hey, I work here. This is what I do. And like my stuff's public. I have nothing to hide. Everything's there. I want people to see, hey, this is where I work. I want to see all my customers that are on my profile. At this point, I should probably make a separate profile to do that. But I think I've noticed that the best way to reach and get someone excited is through messaging someone where they can see like a profile picture or something like that, for example.
Well, can I throw something out there, guys? I mean, so one of the things I always like to do is I went in and, people like Hannah and Brian, you probably saw this already, but, like somebody like Gabe, like one of the things, get tapped into your world, man. I saw that you're a deer hunter, right? You're a fisherman. You ought to be going out there looking at social media when you get a customer's record and find the ways to bond. That's another way of social selling. Yeah. Get to know your customers. You're in West Virginia, man, and a lot of people are hunting, man. Celebrate that buck that you got or that you're making deer jerky.
That happens a lot.
There you go. And
Hey, I love it, man. I'm a deer hunter myself. Yeah. And I do celebrate it on social. High five on that. But that's what I'm saying. But it's fun because you do want people to feel connected. That's the whole point. Transparency. The more connected they feel, it's not an obligation. It's like a sensation. They want that. They're like, man, this is the kind of person I can hang out with. So why wouldn't I want to do business with them? Because most likely they're going to be honest like me. Most likely they're going to treat me fair like I do everybody else, right? Because they do things that I do. So why not? That makes you feel communicative, right? So it's huge. And I love that. And I love that, Gabe, you do a great job with that, brother. Keep going with that. Don't ever stop. It's powerful. And I want to see you. And I love that he said that because, just talking with Steve yesterday, we were doing a call with a dealer that he's getting ready to sign up. Because I know they're going to do it because it makes all the sense in the world. Right. But even if not, he gave them so much education. It was unreal. Right. But at the same time, he said the exact same thing about the phone. He goes, who here would answer their phone from a number they didn't know? Nobody.
Come, hey, let's be real. Let's be real, everybody.
Right. For the most
How many
part,
of you are going to answer your friends' phone calls, right? Some of you
and
don't
most of the
answer
time
your
you're probably
friends.
not even answering your friends if you're kind. You just be sort of busy, right?
All right, I'll answer Hannah's call. I'll answer.
I'll
Right,
text me.
exactly,
I don't
right?
have the time for it.
Certain
right?
people maybe, right?
How many
But
of y'all
at
do
the
that?
end of the day,
Let's be
you don't. So you, even because you're slightly busy, or you're in a conversation, or you're watching your favorite show, or eating a meal with somebody. So
Or you're in the metaverse.
or in the metaverse, right? But the point is that the phone call answer is old school. And soon we're going to find out that's super old school. Because even, I mean, I feel that too. I don't want to sometimes talk. I like talking business, but when it comes to like getting small things out of the way, this type of stuff, I think video, Gifs, like I tell you, Gifs, like Steve kills it with those, man. You want to talk about putting your face in front of people. He makes custom ones and it makes it, they recognize you. And it's so funny, man. But anyway, that being said, keep being that way, brother. I love how you're paying attention to what's out there and how to communicate with people. Because a lot of people just keep doing the same thing and not realizing you could jump on Facebook and do that. And I love that you recognize that people love seeing a face, putting something that seems digital real. That's how we make it real.
The one thing I just want to point out, and again, this is like, when I talk about Gabe, or, if I said, hey, are you a Lakers fan? I know who a Lakers fan is in this room. You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly, Brian. So, I mean, look, I'm always scoping to learn about the customer. So the one thing I always tell you, Gabe, especially since you're out there selling cars, is learn one thing about the customer and you focus on that 99% of the time and you win the game. That's the easiest sales technique that you could work on right there. And I'm just telling you, if they have 3 kids, no, don't be a creeper on Facebook. Say you got 3 kids. But if somebody tells me that, hey, Steve, I don't like my guys, I think it's creepy that you look on social media. It's 2022, people. All right. I will tell you, 8 years ago, I was in a completely different industry. And if you did not know anything about the LiveWithDrive guy, which I wasn't the LiveWithDrive guy 8 years ago, but if you didn't know anything about me, I didn't even interview you, or, you didn't even get the job. So that was 8 years ago, and we're in 2022. It's expected. It's expected.
Yeah.
And it's inspected. It's inspected by those that you're looking to work with, those that are looking to do business with you, those that are upset with doing business with you, right? They may have never seen you before on social media till you mess something up, right? Then they're going to go find you, right? Then they're going to go say something that could happen, right? Some dealers deal with that. So it's it's incredibly important that we continue to fuse together a conversation with them, right? And not losing that for anything that would be on the side of, we don't have the tool to communicate with them their way, right? If I go to a hospital and was getting surgery, I would expect them to have every tool it takes to take care of my problem, right? I would hope that that's what it is that's happening. That's the same thing that your customers want with you, right? We solve transportation problems. That's where we're fused into, right? Helping them if they have a service problem, which that's another thing. People, and I love that Hannah did bring that up, people are going to do more work on their cars as they can't get out of them for a few years. You know what I'm saying, everybody? It's going to happen. You're going to need to have that talk going. Okay, it's happening now already. Some people are saying, you know what? I know I needed to fix this car, but now I would probably trade it. But I ain't trading. Are you crazy? You see how much that car costs? I'm out. I'm going to keep this sucker for a while, So that's happening. That's why that conversation has to keep occurring with how do we keep a talk going with the dealership about us solving that problem for them, which is either selling them a car, the part that fixes it, or the service it takes to get it fixed. Inside of that, just trying to hone all that in and understanding that the personality is what's going to sell them and connect them to you, to the experience. But what is it about the experience that we want our customers to get inside of our stores? When you see somebody go completely through it all, they go through where you've paid to get them in. What is it that we want to pay to get them in for? When I would say, Brian, at what point do we want to pay to get that customer in for an experience? So the question would ultimately be, what is it that we want that customer to get when they deal with us at all?
We want them to have joy. I mean, we got to build ourselves a brand enough to where they come back. I mean, if I'm being silly on my commercials along with my GM, if my GM can do these commercials, then it should trickle down enough to the service department, sales, parts, and where we bring that experience for people to be like, man, that place, they have fun. I mean, there's a lot of things going on there. And if we're not transparent, if we're not sharing that the rest of the departments, then it just leaves that nasty taste in the mouth, and then they won't come back. So we got to get proactive, like when dealing with our reputation. We have to share and make sure everybody is involved and knows what's going on. Like Steve says, if you don't know who I am in this dealership, you know, but maybe if I can walk outside and someone point at me, I didn't know that dude, you know, we got to build that.
Yeah, that's it, man. It's important. It very much is. The experience is huge, you know, and what you put out there has to be what you put in there, right? So when people show up, they got to be like, because one little small thing, like you just said, it takes all this hard work of making everything seem so beautiful, what you want it to look like, how you want it, your personality. Because one thing Erica Wells told us was that, you know, the culture is the dealership's personality. So when they show up and that culture isn't what you say it is, that personality looks whack to them. It doesn't match up to what they think. It's impossible. Maybe you sell them once because they're there. They just want to get it over with, but you'll never sell them again. That's right. Their service, they'll go to the other Toyota store up the street. They'll be like, you know what, man, that other Toyota, I know it's another 10 minutes, but I kind of feel awkward walking in there now because that place didn't really live up to what they said.
Well, but that's why it's important that everybody understands, like, you're fighting this uphill battle, right? Yeah. And I don't know if I said this yesterday, but you got to remember 90% of customers don't trust us. Let's say it the way it is. Now, you can go out there and you can be sad about that, but if you're at the dealership, Gabe, I look at that as a huge opportunity. Everything that's going on right now in the car industry that we have to be negative Nancy about, it's a total positive for your dealership. You have to take that 10% and say, man, I'm going to be that 10%, and hopefully we'll grow that as an industry to 20%. You know, and the way you do that, just like through everything we're talking about, and I will tell you this, Gabe, your goal, if it was me, and anybody that's listening to this, your goal to create customer experience is to get the customer to say LOL via text. LOL, that's customer experience, all right? That's how you're going to see that digitally. And I know if I go through anybody's CRM, I know when a customer experience is happening digitally, and you can read it. It's so easily detectable.
That's really cool. And you do DriveCentric, and we're not here to shine on people's companies, but I am. DriveCentric is beautiful. Like I told you, I sat down through a demo, and I'm not trying to throw a shout out, but I got to throw a shout out because it's so unique. It's so cool. Plug for you, my friend, for being here. Right. So, you know, we do, and it's really big. And I know we're sharing, we're giving knowledge out there. We're talking about being able to do those types of things. Hannah, what do you think?
Yeah, I did want to jump in there. You guys touched on so many great points. And first and foremost, Brian, you mentioned reputation. And then Fred, you said it's all about setting expectations. And then Steve, you said 90% of customers don't trust us. To kind of double back on those points, Brian, it does start with reputation. And to bring it all the way back to Google, everyone's going to your Google business profile. They're looking at your star review rating. Fred, they're going to the Google business profile. They're checking out those photos. They're reading those reviews so that their expectations are set before they walk into the door. And Steve, 90% of people don't trust us, but 90% of people trust reviews more than they do the dealership. So you're setting the stage right there on that Google business profile with how is your reputation? What do they expect when they look at your pictures? When they're reading the reviews, what actually happened once they got there? That's really like the consumer's platform to say, listen, the website could look great. Their photos could be awesome on the website, but here it's kind of almost like the people's forum. You know, they're answering those questions and answers for you if you're not hopping in there. It's kind of a chance for people to almost take over the dealership page, if you will, if you're not monitoring it, if you're not looking at it, if you're not continually staying up to date with it. Don't say you have a coffee bar and it's actually been under construction for 3 months. Like Google will also, you know, give you points for staying relevant. The more you add photos, I think if you have over 100 photos, it bumps you up in your ranking. Same thing with the Google stars and reviews. It'll bump you up in the local MacPat because they take into account how often and frequently you are considering the consumer's point of view and what really is that fine line between like reality and kind of wishful thinking on the dealer's end.
Wow, that there, my friend, is the marketing director of Friendemic, killing it and dropping some knowledge on us right there. That's huge.
Fred, to her point, to Hannah's point about the stars. I mean, I designed our wrap on our car, and I put that on the back of the car, 4 by 5 that we have, and I put the Yelp and the Google logo so people can go look at our reputation. It is that important.
100% it is.
The adage or the explanation to the customer, hey, don't take my word for it. Listen to what they say about me, right? That's what you always want to put it together. That's why the testimonials are so important. But that's also why we fuse that together inside of social media. Never before have we had so much power at our fingertips to get that message of an experience and testimonials to other people, right? That's why it's important to use what's free until you got to go to what's paid. So I would ask this, and jumping this from Hannah's perspective, what would you say for somebody that's like Gabe, right? At what point would they need to shift into doing paid advertisement inside of Facebook, whether it's a dealership, an individual? At what point would be the right time for them to make that shift and go to the next level?
And was that question for me? Okay, just making sure.
Yes.
I would say I would only really get into that space once my Google business profile was built out. Why would I get ads if they're not even searching for me? If I can't if they're not even in my feed, if they're not even on my radar, why would I spend ad dollars on somebody who doesn't even know who I am yet? It's a little bit further in the funnel. However, of course, you do want to get there eventually, but I'd say step number 1, make sure you have a good reputation, make sure you have a good star rating. Everyone is going to go back there. Again, 60 billion searches a year, 40,000 searches a second. You have to have that thing in prime and pristine condition. And then I think all of the other advertisement comes secondary. And first and foremost, Google's free. All of this stuff is free. Now, it takes a little bit of work to optimize, but why would you not also start with something that is totally and 100% free for the dealership? And then, after, are you generating enough leads? Are you getting the reviews? Are you even seeing just an increase in traffic, whether it's digital to the website or truly, showroom floor traffic? Then I'd reevaluate and say, okay, some of our consumers, they're more so on Facebook, or maybe it's a demographic or an age range in a college town where you want to look more heavily at Instagram. Or maybe there's a huge local and boisterous community on Twitter, and that's how you're going to connect. I would take a look always first and foremost on, can they even find me? Am I ever going to get in their feed? Yes or no? And then I'd move on and look at a little bit more so of my demographic, my location, and how much, and where do I want to put these marketing dollars?
Man, that is a brew right there, my friends. A special brew just for you. Man, that was free. Just saying. Hope you guys pay attention. If you didn't, replay this and get that down, because that was some great knowledge to be able to help you get a path to where you want to be one day. Right. The path to perfection, well, close to perfection. None of us are perfect.
We just strive to this, right? I mean, there's levels to this, folks, and you often don't understand how to take that next step until you've gotten to that level. And so quickly, we want the result that's at the top of the staircase, right? We want that. That's what we're aiming at. We're trying to get there. Right. But taking the tools, taking the next steps, learning something, learning what the next level is important. And that's so key. You got to build that foundation, right, Fred?
Hey, man, the better your foundation, the more you can rebuild, remodel, do things. But that foundation is so strong, you never have to worry about it. It's there always, forever. All you got to do
is why you just keep putting out content, right? I mean, just keep putting out content. The other day we had extra earbuds from our Christmas party at work, and I told my assistant, let's just go live. We went live for like 45 minutes and we got 900 comments, and we were talking about pizza, whether pineapple on pizza is good or not, and we just kept going through comments and see, I'm telling you, it sparked something. And we're a car dealership, but we're talking about pizza. We teamed up with the local business, pizza business, that donated some prizes. I said, hey, we're going live. He's like, yeah, go ahead, give a couple away. So we did that on 2222, and they gave away 22% off pizzas if they mentioned that they watched our live. So getting in contact with local businesses, and you guys can feed off each other.
Yes.
And that's the best. That is the best way to do it. You want to talk about your community being like, dang, this is really rad. That's it right there. Little things like that make a huge difference. It always seems like you have to do something massive, big, just like doing a video. You want to do it so perfect, but guess what? It's not about perfection. It's about being consistent. I love that. Yeah, let's watch that. You got? Can you play that?
Oh no, I don't have the video. I'm just showing you how,
okay. It's all good.
how
It's
many
all good.
comments that we had.
Dude.
944 shares.
That's
Wow, man,
awesome, dude.
That's amazing.
He's been doing it a long time, and I'm telling you, man. Who wouldn't want to follow Ortega? You know,
and don't stop, won't stop. The way Brian is explaining that is as creative, as great of stuff as he made. And right now we're celebrating what you just made with that metaverse video. Incredible. Bravo. Absolutely love that. That's right now relevant.
I got that. You want to watch that too?
I do want to see that, but keep creating, right? We want to keep creating, but go ahead and play that for them real quick.
All right, let's see. We got that.
Brian, what are you up to now? Grab those. I need help in the Valleyverse with all these customers. What customers? Whoa. I'll be right with you, sir. Hello. Hello. You're going to love this new template. It is perfect for the whole family. Of course. Just swipe. I'll be right with you, sir. Welcome to the Valleyverse.
Wow. I saw that yesterday, dude. That was awesome.
Come on. Go sell cars.
Dude, that is so what's happening, man. You know, that is so what's going down. And there's another Brian that loves to talk about that. And he's making his showroom that way right now. That's over there in Florida, my man. I love that guy, dude. Brian Kramer. He's got such a unique way of thinking, and it's so cool. There's a lot of great Brians out there. So that's a nice little thing. So we appreciate you guys.
I made it.
We're getting to the end of the show. I know you guys got to get off. It's been an hour now, but what do you got, Steve? You got one more thing?
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure, because I think this is important too. Like, I mean, all these things, like exactly what Hannah's saying is like, you know, you got to get your platform organized. That's going to be key so everybody can find you. But once you get, like, if I was Gabe, you just got to get on all the social media platforms, wherever you're gravitating to. You look like a Gen Z. You're probably on TikTok. Let's be real. But you know what I would tell you
on TikTok.
What's that?
Even you're on TikTok.
So. I just got on it like 3 months ago. I mean, come on, you know. But you know, here's the thing: all these different social media platforms, it's all free, and you could brand yourself quite a bit, Gabe. The one thing I'll just tell you is, don't forget the key thing that's most important to your customers to find you is to get your contact information on their phone. That is going to be your 100% marketing goal, Gabe, and any other salesperson is your goal as a salesperson is to always get that customer on your phone. And if you're going out there, whatever brand you're representing, Ford, I don't know what franchises y'all represent, but just, you know, grab their phone and just say, hey, anytime you look for a Ford, and you can put that in the comments section, and it's all free because they're going to swipe down and search by Ford and your name comes up. So that's all free, but you're in control over, you know, making sure those customers add you to their phone. And the other thing too, and you know, you guys heard this yesterday that I mentioned, but leverage social media for when those customers come in and ask them, how many followers do you have on, you know, TikTok or on Facebook? And maybe they will go live for you and tag you on that. Don't be afraid to ask those consumers to celebrate that second biggest purchase. Let's go live. Let's do it. You know,
I'm going to be pushing that.
That's the way you build referrals.
Love it.
It's 100% right. Gabe, I hope you've been listening, brother. This is great stuff.
Yes,
Thank you for
absolutely.
being here. You got any last notes that you want to say before we get out of here, Gabe?
No, it's a lot to take in, but I'm very appreciative.
Hey, man, we appreciate you for bringing your stuff too, man, and keep growing and don't stop. You're an impressive young man, dude. Not even old enough to have a drink yet.
Just getting started, man. That's what I'm saying.
Just imagine your potential.
Heck yeah.
Oh, dude, he's got so much.
He's got got the beard.
Oh, dude,
right?
And he's a hard worker. I mean, I've witnessed it, and I see how he is with his people. He's got nothing but mountaintop to go for, man. And I appreciate you.
What's really worked for me so far is the use of Twitter with, like how you mentioned before with athletes. That's the best way that we've seen, not really a reach and an interaction with customers or potential customers, is on Twitter. For example, like collegiate athletes at WVU, we work a lot with them. And that's like, that goes back to me saying that's what's worked best for us on Twitter. It's so easy for someone to drop a like or retweet something real quick.
Yep. Amen. All sources, my friends. They're all usable. Come on. Free. 99.
Brian.
Except your data.
Yeah.
In your privacy.
That's right. You still got to come correct. There's a lot of stuff there. But Brian, brother, seriously, we appreciate you. We thank you for your time. It is so early where you are. You got a whole entire day in front of you. Thank you for joining us at lunch
Thank
for us
you,
over here.
guys.
We honor you. Thank you so much. Hannah, thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your direction and your knowledge. So much knowledge.
So much. And I like how you correlated everything into that Facebook, and it's so true. Pay attention to that stuff, my friends. It's important. If you want your business to grow, to be noticed, right? You got to be there, man. If people they're not going to buy from you or do anything with you, do business with you. I don't care if you offer services, you have to have a Google rating that's extremely good and offer ways for them to get to you within a click or two. Come on, guys, let's go.
Thank you so much. Let's answer this question united, everybody. Let's see if you can agree with the car guy and the subprime hero. When Jeremy asked, how do you deal with jerky customers who try to damage your social profiles because you have to fire them because they are so bad? I say you forgive, focus, fly, and you keep pouring out more goodness.
My
because
answer to that is
people are going to say bad stuff.
Just kill them with love. Be like, I understand. Listen, it's sometimes things have to happen just for you to be able to grow. Like, it's truth. Like, I know that I've let people go that end up being better somewhere else. And that it's the only way they would have been better. They weren't making it in this process. Right. And that's okay. I don't hate them for that. I understand that. I acknowledge it. It's better to do it sooner than later. So, Steve?
Hey, I mean, one of the things I always try to tell everybody, again, I came from a different industry, but just remember, you don't know what's going on in that consumer's head. You don't know if they got fired, they lost a loved one. You just don't know. And the one thing, if you ever want to grow a little bit, and I'll challenge everybody to watch this, it's really good. I actually brought it back and shared it with a couple of dealerships. It's called the Cleveland Clinic. If you do what patients were thinking, and it'll make you cry in the first 20 seconds. And it's no verbiage, but it's basically understanding what patients are going through, and you just gotta bear with it, right? You got to have it different when you're in the hospital. So you don't know what that customer is going through. So just like what you're saying, forgive and be a sponge, absorb it. You just don't know what's going on. And sometimes you kill them with kindness.
Amen. That's
and
it.
Address it, because other customers will notice that too. I mean, if there's that, that specific one and it doesn't kind of coincide what everybody else is saying, then they can kind of feed off of that as well. And if you address it on Yelp or on Google, you respond to it, because my GSM wants to delete it. I go, no, let's just, like you said, just respond to it. Let everybody know. It
takes an act of
we had somebody say those commercials are so bad and tacky, and we got a 1-star. I was like, hey, at least they're watching, and they had the effort.
And it took time to go out and write that, right? Say, hey, that's the thing. You're not, nothing is 100%, but your heart is 100%. What you put out there is 100%. People they're not gonna like it, and those people, maybe they shouldn't come buy a car from us because they like it maybe the old school way where people treat you like crap and they're not fun, and they'll hide keys, they'll throw your keys, they'll throw your trade keys on the roof. If you like that, go ahead. Go hit the badger up like, Steve's talking about. Go hit with those people. But if you want to deal with us, the ones that are fun, the ones that are transparent, that are going to just give you nothing but a LOL, like Steve says, then, man, come see us and we'll take care of you. But, until you need that, we understand. We're always here, and we're going to keep letting you know we're here because we're putting out content after content after content. God, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. I appreciate each one of you all. What a day.
Well, we appreciate everybody that's been joining us. Thank you so much, car guys and car gals that have been having fun on the show and that have been participating. We are so excited for this incredible team that we had together. Before we roll out, let's again make sure that the message gets out there to forgive, focus, and fly so that we can keep growing. On 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Thank you so much. I am Ramirez, the car guy.
And I'm Frelin Arts, the subprime hero.
You have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. Thank you, everybody. Stay behind and wave to the crew. Everybody say bye so we can make sure that the track they can say bye to you. Thank you for everybody that's been riding in the car with us.
I love how Lou makes this awkward and long. Bye. Okay.
The Valley High guy. Yeah.
The Valley High guy. You got another commercial? No,
I don't know. I don't.
Oh, man. I'll take it.
Go check out our YouTube.
Come on, man.
Oh.
But no, we want to make sure that everybody understands that this incredible solution session of Solutionaries, these guys and gals are 100% Car Guy Coffee approved.
That's right. Boom. Approved, my friends. We appreciate.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much again. We love you guys. Thank you again for participating. Love you all.
Thank you guys.
Are
That was so
out.
fun.
Yeah, man, no doubt.
Oh my God.
Good show. Good show. We appreciate